Good morning, everyone. The topic of my presentation is function of the village council in traditional Naga society, especially with reference to the then Naga hills. Coming to the introduction, the village council constituted the supreme body of the village in the traditional Naga society. Governing principle of the village was based on customary laws. The village, being an independent entity, its customary laws were supreme, and dispensation of justice was quick and effective. Each village state pursued an independent policy and implemented its own customary laws. Administration was indigenous and independent. Traditionally, the tribes like the Yangamis and Chagasan do not have a council, but any matter related to the village was taken up before a meeting resembling the ancient Greek democratic assembly. An eloquent elder of the village, usually known as the Kemebo or Tubo, who was the nominal head of the village, opened the proceedings. Other elders joined the discussion, and every male person of the village had right to speak. The power of the village council was called Sese in Chagasan, Senden in Ao, Hoho in Lota, and Chochomi in Sama was all embracing. How is a councillor selected or elected? It is a clan-based institution where every clan selects the eldest person to represent them to the council. Coming to the functions, we can broadly classify them under three categories, that is, executive functions, administrative function, and judicial function. Coming to the executive functions, the council is supreme in its executive function. The council can inflict punishment on any person guilty of breaking the time-honored law of the land. It ensures observance of customary laws and taboos. Punishment meted out to the taboo breakers was mainly in the form of sacrifice of animals and other ceremonies, depending on the degree of punishment to placate the angry spirit. Under the administrative functions, the council is responsible for construction and maintenance of village water supply, footpaths, construction of new paths, bridges, and their maintenance across streams and rivers. The council fixed the dates of festival, gem cultivation, communal hunting and fishing, sports, religious ceremonies, and gina. It is in charge of grazing ground for cattle and the supply of planks and bamboos for construction of houses. The council was consulted by villagers on all matters, ranging from the observance of festivals to the selection of sites for houses and granaries. The council assists the chief in matters of defense of the village and expected to cooperate with him on all other matters relating to the administration of the village. Under the judicial functions, the council constituted the highest court of justice in a village. The councillors together formed the judiciary, but in the villages under chiefs, the councillors together with the chief constituted the judiciary. All disputes and differences arising between individuals and families, and all affairs relating to the village as a whole were decided by the council. All disputes and cases were settled according to the customary laws existing among them. All laws fall under two broad categories: divine law and man-made laws. Divine laws are believed to have been given by God through the medium of the earliest of priests. Man-made laws are those which were enacted by the wise men of the village from time to time. All laws were unwritten and handed down orally from generation to generation. With regard to the law of inheritance, the law permits only males to inherit property. When a man has only daughter and no son, she may pay a nominal amount to her father's male relative for the property. This would amount to purchasing the property, and she could sell it if she wishes. If she does not sell it before her death, the property would lapse to her father's male relatives. Among the Yangamis, a father may allot a piece of land to his daughter at the time of her marriage, which becomes the sole property of her and her children. The Chakesans too have similar practice, but all the allotted lands and paddy fields by her father will revert back to her father's male relatives after her death. Among the Yaos, all sons of the same father inherit property almost equally, although the eldest may get a little more than the others. However, among the Yangamis, Chakesans, and the Lotas, the youngest son inherits the house and an equal share of the rest of the property, apportioned by the father among his sons while he was still alive. In conclusion, it can be noted that the traditional village council is an all-encompassing institution which is quite well adapted to the exigencies of time. The British rulers integrated the practice into its systems of governance in the then Naga Hills, and it continued even after independence. It is an institution where a blend of tradition and modernity continues to be at work. These are some of the references which I have made. This is an example of how tradition and modernity work. It is one of the villages in Nagaland where they are having an oath taken under the Christian principle. Thank you, everyone.